We celebrate the start of Hispanic Heritage Month with the Deputy Consul of Mexico in Philadelphia, and we'll get a preview of what's in store for this year's Hispanic Choice Awards. It's all here on this week's Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias, and thank you for joining us today. Hispanic Heritage Month runs from September 15 through October 15, and I had the pleasure to be a guest of La Casa Dominicana and Organization Azteca in Atlantic City as they kicked off Hispanic Heritage Month. One of those invitees was also the Honorable Erica Guzman, the Deputy Consul of Mexico in Philadelphia, who is here today. Erica, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you very much. I am very happy to be in Latino Motion, and I'm eager to share with you all the services of the Mexican Consulate and maybe all the values and culture that we have.
Well, thank you so much. And certainly, let's talk a little bit about culture, because we're talking about Hispanic Heritage Month and your participation at the kickoff ceremony today in Atlantic City. It's also part of what you do to reach out to the community and to maintain that cultural heritage. Tell me a little bit about some of the functions in terms of the maintaining the cultural heritage of the council.
Well, we have a department that is promoting culture in the Mexican Consulate in Philadelphia, and we are doing that with several organizations. For example, in Philadelphia, we have an organization that it is the Mexican Cultural Center, and in Philadelphia, we organize every year in Penn's Landing an event, and this last Sunday, we gather around 15,000 persons over there. Here, we are very glad, and we were very happy to take part in this event. That
we don't have the big numbers like we do in Philadelphia, but we certainly have a good amount of Latinos here in South Jersey, and certainly the Mexican community.
Exactly, and to us, it is very important to remember what is our history, what is our independence movement, how it began, and to teach to other Mexicans and to other cultures, maybe to share that our values, our history, and our traditions, because it is also tradition. It is not just history, but we have an event called El Grito, the shout, that will be the translation, and we remember how this independence movement began.
For non-Mexicans, non-Latinos, maybe what they most remember is the Cinco de Mayo. That's the big celebration. But there's a lot of events, and actually the independence is much bigger in Mexico than the Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, it is much bigger. It's the main date, and we celebrate 2 days, September 15 and September 16. It began September 16, but because it was in the early morning, we have during the night of September 15, the President of Mexico will give or will say El Grito, that is this ceremony with fireworks and special words, and remembering the priest. It was a Father Hidalgo, that began the independence movement. And the next day we have another celebration that is September 16th.
And we know that it just happens that not only Mexico, but also a lot of Latin American countries also in the month of September, around that same time frame, also had independence, not the same year, but around the same month. And hence, here in the United States, it's September 15 to October the 15th that's declared Hispanic Heritage Month, not just to encompass Mexico, but all of Latin America.
Exactly. And for example, the ceremony today at the City Hall in Atlantic City, it was very, very special because we gather all the communities, not just from Mexico, but from Central America, from El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, and Costa Rica. And we are united, celebrating these independence movements in different years,
right.
Because the Mexican independence began 205 years ago. And we have different years, different dates, but
right.
This is special.
Now, in view of what some presidential candidates are saying about Latinos and about Mexicans, why is it important that we continue our tradition here in the United States from our countries?
Well, it is important to show that we are hard workers, that we are coming here to work and to share our values. And one of our values, it is work. It is to work hard. And the second value, I think, it is the family, and I can say for all Latin Americans. And another thing that I can say is that I think we, all the Latin Americans, can speak English and Spanish, so it will be an added value to speak 2 languages or 3 languages, maybe.
And I know some of the commentary that's been espoused by a presidential candidate has been towards the Mexican community, but I think you seeing in the celebration today and other events that all of Latin America is coming together and certainly supporting the Mexican community.
Exactly. I think we all are together and we can work together, not just for this moment, for the networking for the future.
It's certainly something that we need to continue to do, and also to distinguish what the differences are, because we're not all Mexicans, we're not all Puerto Ricans. We have various cultures that we need to celebrate and to talk about. We're going to continue this discussion. Want to know a little more about the function of the council. We want to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
La Cumbre de Liderazgo Hispano de Nueva Jersey les invita a su 5º aniversario, donde habrá más de 8 talleres educativos, presentaciones culturales y mesas de exhibiciones para el crecimiento de los hispanos en la región. Todos los años entregan becas a estudiantes y reconocen los líderes de la comunidad. Comienza a las 8 de la mañana y cierra con broche de oro con una gran gala. Para inscribirte, visita la página web en pantalla. Los esperamos el 24 de octubre en la Universidad de Rowan, Glassboro, New Jersey.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. I have the pleasure of continuing my discussion with Deputy Consul of Mexico in Philadelphia, Erica Guzman. And Erica, we were talking a little bit about the role of the council in terms of preserving the Hispanic culture here, Mexican culture. And there's a lot of roles, obviously, that the council plays in helping the Mexican community here. And we want to talk a little bit about what some of those services are. Let's talk first about immigration and one of the roles that you play in terms of making sure that human rights are protected. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, we have a special department. It is the protection department, and we are aware of many Mexicans that are here, and we have the right, and we need to protect their human rights. So sometimes we go to jails, so maybe to detention centers, to know and to be sure that the human rights are protected. And not just that, the protection department can do more than that. Maybe if somebody is crossing the border, or maybe if he is lost or she is lost, we can try to find him or find her in the with the effort of the consular networking, the Mexican consular networking.
Well, let's talk a bit about the passports and everything else
Okay.
that the council does, and we could go through. I mean, there's a whole slew of services, including maybe helping with the birth certificates and certainly with the passports. So tell me a little bit about the passport services that the organization offers.
Okay, we have another department that's in charge of the documentation department.
Okay.
And we issue passports, Mexican passports. And another ID that, well, for the Mexicans is well known, is called Matricula Consular, Consular ID Matricula. And maybe that is important because it appears the name.
It is a form of identification,
Yes,
picture identification.
it is a credential.
Okay.
It has a photograph, the name, the nationality, the place of birth, the date of birth, but also the address. So you can know where she or he is living.
So those services you could get directly at the council there in Philadelphia?
Exactly. You have to make an appointment, but we can issue passports and consular IDs called matriculas. And also we can give birth certificates, Mexican birth certificates, to the ones that are born here but have a mother or a father or both parents are Mexicans. So that's
do you have dual citizenship in terms of
Exactly.
Mexican and U.S. born? Okay.
Exactly. And it is important to point out that we need that if you need that birth certificate, you have to give us an original birth certificate where the long format. You can vital records can provide it. And
So
we need
if
a
you
long
haven't done
format.
this in a while, this is a new requirement.
Exactly, because the long format establishes some data that maybe another formats doesn't. For example, the complete name, the full name of parents, and also the town or the country of citizenship of the parents. That's important to us.
I know one of the things that our mutual friend Nafaki Moreno mentioned to me is that they're looking to bring a mobile consul locally here. So tell me a little bit about what that means and how that helps in the community.
Okay, we organize once a month mobile consulates and sometimes twice a month. And that is to allocate most of the services of the consulate in different cities. Our circumscription, that's how we call, we cover Delaware, Pennsylvania, and 8 counties in South Jersey. So we go with all our computers, all our material, and we issue passports and matricular consular IDs.
So let's give out the address, first of all. Obviously, if you can't wait for the mobile council to be set up, what's the address and contact information for the council?
Okay, you have to visit our webpage, and it is important that, we also are getting in touch with all the media when we have different mobile consulates.
Right.
And we are going to have like a mobile consulate in Lakewood at the end of October.
And the main office for the consulate in Philadelphia, what is the main address?
Okay, it is 11 South Independence Mall East, Suite 310 and 320.
So, and you recommend that people call particularly if they want to get the passport or the identification card, they should call ahead of time to make an appointment?
Yes, they can call to make an appointment in Mexitel, but it is a special number. But also, they can visit the webpage of the Mexican Consulate and they can make that appointment online. It is not necessary to call.
And I know you've been preparing for the Pope visit, the Pope coming to Philadelphia, and you've been putting special information on your website about that as well.
Exactly. That is important because the transportation will be different, all the security will be different, and we have a special information, like a brochure for all the visitors that are coming from Mexico, and those visitors that are going to visit Philadelphia, that are coming from New Jersey, from Delaware,
Right.
and from other cities from Pennsylvania.
Well, that is great, and that's all the time we have, unfortunately, but thank you for joining us, and I'm sure as you get more information about some of the changes in the council, you'll come back and give us some of that information. So thank you for joining us today, and please stay tuned for our next guest right here on Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. One of the biggest traditions in the Delaware Valley during Hispanic Heritage Month is the elegant and popular Hispanic Choice Awards. This classy event is open to the public, and to tell us more about what's in store for this year's event is the media director, Nadia Rivera. Nadia, welcome to Latino Motion, and I know I'm messing up your first name again, but thank you for joining us here on Latino Motion. I just got an opportunity to meet you, but it looks like the guys here in the program know you because you were a student here in major in communications.
Yes.
So now you're the media director.
I am the Media Relations Director for the Hispanic Choice Awards, yes.
Well, welcome, and it's good to have a young Latina who graduated from Stockton who is making a difference and certainly getting involved with this very popular event. I've been to the event a couple times, and it's just a terrific event. Tell me a little bit about, let's describe the event, because a lot of people who have not gotten an opportunity to see it are really missing out. Let's describe a little bit about the event.
Sure. First, thank you for having us on the show. The Hispanic Choice Awards is very proud to support Latino Motion. And so the Hispanic Choice Awards is an event that has been going on for over 10 years. Javier Suarez is our executive producer, along with Cecilia Ramirez. And I'm part of the communications team for the Hispanic Choice Awards. And it's a 3-part event. So its mission is really to just celebrate Latinos in the fields of the arts, the education, business, really just Latinos who are out there doing great work, community advocates, activists.
Let's break down those 3 events because I know that the event starts around 4,
The event starts at 4 on
o'clock.
Saturday, October 3rd.
So, and then the actual show doesn't start to 8, but there's a lot of things in between. Let's talk about with the very first event, which I love, the red carpet. And
Sure.
This is really an opportunity for anyone to be part of the red carpet. And we see friends, we see groups go together, we see couples on the red carpet. Tell me a little bit about that.
You know, it's a 3-part event, so it kicks off with the red carpet at 4 o'clock. Also, we have a networking reception at 4 o'clock. And what happens is you arrive and you walk the red carpet, and it's really this big, grand celebration prior to our award show. It really gets people pumped up. People are dressed, very elegantly, and you just get to walk this red carpet and celebrate, while you're there. And so the award show starts at 8 o'clock. And then we have entertainment. This year we have J.W. Cortez, whom some of you may know as Detective Alvarez on the hit series Gotham, but we know him as J.W. Cortez, and he's our host this year. We're also going to have entertainment. Some dignitaries will attend. It's really a big event. Over 1,000 people attend each year.
Now, I know we can't talk a little bit about who the honorees are this year,
Right.
Because they're going to be announced at the event, but certainly you've had some pretty terrific honorees over the years. Tell me a little bit about some of the previous honorees.
We really stress at the Hispanic Choice Awards that anyone can be nominated. It's really the public who chooses our honorees each year. And that's very important because that's part of our mission. Latinos in general have this amazing work ethic. Their arts are their culture is evident in their arts and their artistic talents. And that's really what the Hispanic Choice Awards is about. So the public, basically submits nominations, and we have a nomination committee who selects the honorees, and they're announced on Saturday, October 3rd at the award show.
And that's the show is really a real production. I mean, you have the announcer, you have the host, and it really has some video, some background information on the honorees. So it's a great, enjoyable program. Tell me a little bit about what the cost, because this is really affordable for anyone who would like to go out and be part of a Hispanic cultural heritage and really participate in this elegant event.
Yes, the cost to attend the Hispanic Choice Awards, we really like to call it, we'd like to invite you to register to the Hispanic Choice Awards versus purchasing tickets, because it really is such a rewarding thing to do to attend the Hispanic Choice Awards. The cost is $13 for the general public. To be part of the three-part event, it's $55, and you can learn how to register to attend at www.hcaphilly.org.
One of the events that we didn't cover too much, and that's the VIP reception. Once you walk the red carpet, there's a reception, and I know that's kind of standing room only. It's a great event to do a lot of networking, and for
Absolutely.
young professional Latinos, that's the place to be.
That's absolutely the place to be. You know, those $55 will get you a long way. It's really the place to bring your business cards and get to know people and break into the field, because that's really what we're all about. The Hispanic Choice Awards is really about celebrating what Latinos do and what Latinos are about, our culture, our work ethic. And so this would be a good event if you're a student who's looking to just meet other professionals, if you're looking to break into business or entrepreneurship, education, and the arts. This is really a good event to do that.
Now, obviously, after the show, this is also recorded, and it's part of CBS. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, for those of you who aren't able to attend the awards ceremony on Saturday, October 3rd, the show does air on CBS 3 and the CW Philly, and that airs in December. So early December, you'll be able to sit back from home and sort of get a little taste of what it's like, so that next year you won't miss it.
And I got to talk to Javier to see if I can capture some of that also for Latino Motion.
Sure.
So really, this is a very good event, and hopefully we'll get to see a lot of our audience out there participating from South Jersey this year in Philadelphia.
Yes.
All right, thank you for joining us, and
Thank you.
thank you for joining us at home. And stay tuned for next Latino Motion next week. Thank you.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.